So hi, welcome to my channel. Today I want us to discuss on the anxious avoidant trap. And in my previous video, I have gone in depth in discussing these types of attachments, whether someone has an anxious attachment, avoidant attachment. Kindly go have a look so that you'll kind of understand this series. But there's one relationship that is anxious and avoidant, and they tend to collide a lot of times. And why? Why? And why is it not healthy? So, as always, I'll be reading. Okay, I'll be reading my notes. So, I begin. When two people in a couple have colliding intimacy needs, their relationship is likely to become more of a storm tossed voyage than a safe haven. Because we said in our previous video, anxious people tend to crave intimacy. As for avoidance, they tend to they don't crave intimacy as much as anxious people do. So, while one partner truly wants intimacy, the other feels very uncomfortable when things become too close. Okay, that is the setup. This is often when one is avoidant and the other one is anxious. I've said it. Research shows when your need for intimacy is met and reciprocated by your partner, your satisfaction level will rise. I feel that is obvious. Incongruent intimacy needs, on the other hand, translate into substantially lower satisfaction. I mean, like, I want to be intimate with you and you don't want to be intimate with me. Obviously, I'll not be satisfied. When couples disagree about the degree of closeness and intimacy desired in a relationship, the issue tends to dominate all other dialogues because that is the root cause. Okay? Thus, the closer the anxious tries to get, the more distance the avoidant acts. Imagine like you're going in opposite directions. One partner's activation reactivates, the other deactivates. Imagine when I react wanting to be more close to you, the other one is deactivating by doing the reverse. And which leads to a vicious cycle, and they both remain in a danger zone. So what can I know you're thinking like, am I in one? As I said, go in my previous videos. But what is this? What are the signs that you're in an avoidant anxious trap? What is the sign? So one is the roller coaster effect. And what is the roller coaster effect? In the relationship, you never sail on an even keel. There's always turbulence. Instead, every once in a while, when avoidant makes himself or herself available to the anxious partner, the latter's attachment system is temporarily quieted and you achieve extreme closeness, leading to the feeling of a high. The closeness, however, is perceived as a threat by the avoidant partner. So maybe you've been complaining and you're like, oh babe, this I don't feel intimate with you. Like I feel you're far away from me. So the avoidant partner tries to adjust to my needs, and I'm getting used to it. But then the attachment style of now the avoidant person, you know, is reactivates because now you're getting too enmeshed or too close, and now the anxious partner, the anxious system has quieted down because at least you embraced my needs. But then once you try to be close enough, you have to understand the avoidant partner sees it as a threat and is quickly followed by a withdrawal on his or her part, only to create the renewed dissatisfaction for the anxious partner. Now you understand the roller coaster. Now you see. The other sign is the emotional counterbalancing act. And what is this? With every clash, the anxious person loses more ground. That is, I've been there. Me being an anxious partner, I have been there. During bitter fights between anxious and avoidant partners, When there is no secure checks and balance in place, people with anxious attachment tend to get overwhelmed by the negative emotions. When they feel hurt, they talk, think, and act in an extreme manner, even to the point of threatening to leave. Now, these are protest behaviors. Okay? However, once they calm down, they become filled with positive memories and are then overcome with regret. They reach out to their partner in attempt to reconcile, but are often met with a hostile response because of avoidance tend to be occupied by the negative side, like they tend to highlight the negative attributes of their partner. So you understand that emotional counterbalance. Like me, as an anxious person, I'm always like, we have these fights and we say the root cause is intimacy. And now the minute I I have well, the minute I start now protesting my feelings, like you're not doing as I want, I get overwhelmed with my negative emotions, and then I decide to leave the relationship. And then when I'm by myself, isolated, and now I when I'm calm, I am then flooded by the positive things that you did for me, and then feel regretful for what is it that I said. But when I come back to the relationship, you being the avoidant partner, you have decided to hold tightly the negative memories, like the words that I said, unlike us uh having a meeting point or a secure base. Point number 3 to show you that shows us you're in an anxious avoidant trap: stable instability. The relationship may last for a long time, but an element of uncertainty persists. You know, because as I said, like us as anxious, we know truly this person does not have the capacity to feel our intimacy needs. But they're going back and forth, and this is just an unhealthy cycle. It is a vicious cycle. Okay, so they're going back. The stable instability. The fourth point that shows us you're in an anxious avoidant trap. Are we really fighting about this? So, what do I mean? You may feel that you are constantly fighting about things you shouldn't be fighting about at all. These differences reflect diametrically opposed desires, assumptions, and attitudes. In fact, they affect almost every aspect of the shared life, from the way you sleep together, raising children. With every new development in this relationship, like marriage and moving in, this basic difference will manifest themselves, and gap between partners may widen as the challenges become greater. Because from the word go, you are not in alignment. I want intimacy and you don't want intimacy. That is a relationship. That is what a relationship entails. So from the word go, you find yourself fighting over trivial matters, but the root cause is always intimacy. And the more you develop, the more you make those strides of now marriage and having kids, you always have discrepancies. And now the challenges make, even pull you further apart. And yeah, that is one sign. You're always fighting over trivial matters because there's no alignment. I said about secure partners is that have they are not all to they are they are agreeable. That is why we really push for people to date secure partners, because they are agreeable. They are not there to oppose you. They are agreeable. Okay, so now you see now the cycle, the avoidant anxious trap. The other point, number 5: life in the inner circle as the enemy. What does this mean? If you are the anxious partner, you find that you are getting treated worse instead of better once you become the person closest to the avoidant partner. I mean, like in your own relationship, you're the enemy. You find yourself you're the enemy because you're the one Because that's what us anxious people do. We tend to extend, we tend to give grace, we tend to be filled by the positive memories. Now, this being our wiring, understand the avoidance sees it as a threat. Now, I feel like I'm the enemy towards, like I don't want, you know, if you are not in an even kill, I feel like I'm the enemy in my own relationship. So I hope you understand. That is what this point means. The last but not least is experiencing the trap, this anxious avoidant trap. You develop the eerie sense the relationship is not right for you, anxious people, but you feel you're too emotionally connected to the other person to leave. And I've been here, and you kind of are so emotionally connected to this partner that you don't want to leave. But this is matters of self worth. Like, what is it that, what do you deserve? You know, what do you deserve? Because this speaks of your inner work that you haven't done. And once you do, and however scary it is to be alone, but would you rather spend years with a person that will never fulfill you? What is it that are you showing your children and yourself above all? Okay, so I pray you have the courage to live. It will be sad, but trust you me, with time it gets better. So I come to the end of my topic on the anxious avoidant trap. If I've missed out on any signs, kindly comment in the comment section. And I would want to hear what is it that you'd want me to discuss about attachments and your experience. Thank you guys. In my next topic, I'm going to discuss on the kind of protest behaviors that us anxious attachers have. So stick around.